Welcome to round one at the Monster Energy Pro Downhill Series here at Ride Rock Creek Bike Park in Zirconia, North Carolina. You've seen the pros throw down. Now it's time to catch up with the next generation of Cat 1 Junior 17 to 18 classes. Undoubtedly, they are the rising cast of future downhill racers. We've got our top 3 seeded junior women's and our top 5 seeded junior men's classes on deck as we toss it over to Grizz and Will.
I'm here in the booth with Sean Grizz McClendon, and Grizz, we've got a little international flavor in the start list for our Cat 1 junior women.
That's right, Will. We've got a couple Canadians, Charlie and Camille Bernard, making it interesting and international in this women's category 1, 17, and 18 today.
But right at the top, 2 of the big contenders for this series in the U.S., Matilda Melton and Tegan Heap. They've got a little bit of distance on the field and seating. Matilda Melton with a 2:12.75, which is right up there with the pro class times. Tegan Heap right behind her, less than 2 seconds off the pace. Then Addison Buckenberger and Sarah Ligman and Grizz, I think they're in striking distance.
Well, I think this is going to be a great race today. These are the future stars of women's professional downhill. Is it going to be Matilda versus Tegan, or are we going to see some sleepers upset today?
Sarah Ligman has already come down, Grizz, and she put a 2:15.9 on the board. And we're going to Addison Buckenberger with 3 riders left to go. It was a 2:20 for Buckenberger in seating yesterday. Bronze at the 2023 Natty Champs here at Rock Creek.
Yeah, Addison's one of these riders that's a byproduct of the Southwest. She's been racing Fontana, Northwest Cups, the Bootleg Canyon Winter Series, and you can see with her technique, she's got that real low posture on the bike, and she's making great pump of this course already, typical of these Southern California riders.
And it's a 26.3 at split number 1. That's a great first split. So actually up on our current hot seat rider, Sarah Ligman. And less than a second off the top time from Tegan Heap in seating at that SR Sun Tour hole shot spot. This is steep and deep, Grizz.
That's it. Well, she's really composed, holding great pace for this class. You know, we saw the pro women, Kaylee Skelton absolutely obliterated that section. But, you know, these youngsters, they're still getting their speed up. You know, they're about 95% of the way there. And we can see that reserve riding. She's a little red at split 2 here, Will.
Yeah, she's dropped back just a bit on our current hot seat time of Sarah Ligman. It's a short course, Grizz, but there's a lot to it. So it's no surprise that some riders might get a little fatigued. But, I mean, Buckenberger's still looking really solid on the bike, just roosting corners.
Yeah, well, she's absolutely hammering this lower section of the track. Maybe she feels like she lost a little bit of time between split 1 and 2. You know, coming up real short on that tabletop's not going to help her effort here, but she's charging hard at the line.
Well, she's held it together for a great run, 2:21.01. Not going to challenge the time of Sarah Ligman, but Tegan Heap looking to do some damage here in finals, a 2:14 in seating, so that time is faster than our current hot seat time from Sarah Ligman.
Tegan Heap absolutely charging out of the gate, and Will, she's actually back on her pivot Phoenix from the previous season, as the prototype Phoenix has been pulled out of commission until further development. I'm not sure what the issue is there, but we saw what the issue was. Bernard Kerr unfortunately just grenaded that bike. So what's Tegan going to be at split 1? Wow, Will, up almost 2.25 seconds.
Yeah, no issues there for the SR Sun Tour hole shot section for Tegan Heap. And she had no issues in seating either, Grizz. Her time would have been 3rd in pro. Super composed here. And Tegan, man, she's been doing it for quite a number of years, so she's ready to have a coming out party this season.
Yeah, Will, and we're going to really see with Tegan here and Tilly coming up next, they are racing the exact same clock as the pro women. They might not be in the pro women's class this weekend, but good God, 4.87 seconds up at split 2, Will.
That is huge, a 1:42, so that's 2 seconds faster than the fastest split from yesterday. Tegan Heap on a heater here at the Monster Energy Pro Downhill Series.
Well, Tegan told me earlier this morning she wanted to run a 2:06. That was her goal on the day. Can she pull it off? No! Disaster must have
down
struck.
Off camera. Wow. We've only got one rider left, Grizz. It is Matilda Melton for Transition Factory Racing. Put down a 2:12 yesterday in seating, so definitely has the pace to knock Ligman off the hot seat, and great moves up there in that top rock section.
Positively, she is on the gas and looking very composed out of the gate. She's keeping her intensity up at a 10 where it needs to be. Getting a mean ET right there, Will.
That's a pro move right there, Grizz, trying to get into the correct gear for the next time she might have to put some power down. And it's a 25.54. That is huge at the first split, so faster than the fastest first split we saw yesterday.
She really wants that SR Sun Tour hole shot this weekend. And Matilda, being a byproduct of the Pacific Northwest, I feel like she's really comfortable here at Rock Creek. This track reminded me a lot of Port Angeles out in Washington. And would you agree, Will? She looks really comfortable on this track today.
She looks super comfortable and composed, and she's been having a great season so far this year. She was on pace with her teammate Valentina Roa Sanchez at the Windrock Tennessee National. Oh, and it's 5.37 into the green, so this is looking like a huge run from Melton. Would have been second in pro yesterday with pro moves like that.
Well, we're seeing pro riding out of Tilly. I mean, she's just making great use of all the support of these berms. She's had good rhythm, good flow throughout the course of her run, and she's just building her speed as she's barreling into the finish line coming into this step up here.
Yeah, just 17 years old this year. Tilly, no!
Holy
a scorpion
smokes.
into the dust. She's
Look
up.
at her. Will, she's got all the dog that... Wow, are you kidding me?
She's still going to podium this thing? Only 3 seconds back.
In agony there, Will. That was a hard charging finish there. Wow.
And Sarah Ligman will hold on to take the win with a 2:15 here at the inaugural Monster Energy Pro Downhill Series. Tilly Melton in second with that valiant ride. Addison Buckenberger in third. Charlie Bernard and Camille Bernard round out our podium in fourth and fifth. Well, Grizz, some folks say that this is the most exciting class on the mountain. These boys get wild. The Cat 1 junior men, 17 to 18s. We're looking at our top 10 right here. They're separated by just 6 seconds. When you get to that top 5, Grizz, only 4 seconds between those top 5 seeded riders.
Will, you're absolutely right. We're looking at the future of downhill racing here. Our top 5 riders, we've got a pair from the Southwest, a pair from the East, and a Canadian in the mix. Who's going to take the gold today?
Grizz, we have Max Abrams sitting on the hot seat. Just put down a clean run to take 4 seconds off of his seating time. He's got a 158.63 up on the board, and that's the carrot that these top 5 junior riders will have to chase as William Arbogast from the Gravity Academy charges in.
Will, the Gravity Academy is a serious school. You can see with his technique, he's learning from some great riders. And we typically see Will here on the Downhill Southeast podiums. He's going to be probably gunning for a top 3 today.
Yeah, he busted out onto the podium for the first time at Downhill Southeast last year. This split 1 coming up. Oh, and he's wild, Grizz. He is hucking off some of these moves.
Yeah, and holding great pace within striking distance, little more than a half second back at split 1. I like what I'm seeing from this kid, Will.
Yeah, he's real loose out there, man. Just letting the bike dance around, trying to carry as much pace as possible. He slams into that left-hander.
Whoa, look like he...
Might have got unclipped right there.
Yeah, looked like he smacked a rock there with his left pedal. He's struggling to get clipped back in. That's going to really cost him. What's the split going to say, Will?
Oh, man, he wasn't able to get back in. He's lost a minute right there. So what could have been for Arbogast today, he's going to have to call it quits.
Oh, he's had a mechanical. I wonder if it must have been a broken pedal.
Yeah, that was a huge hit. Such a committed corner right there. But we'll see more of him this year, hopefully back at the Monster Energy Pro Downhill Series. As we move to Ryder Lawrence, he was 4th in seeding yesterday with a 159, Grizz.
Will, Ryder is the new generation of the SoCal Speed team, and if you know anything about his father, Randy Lawrence, you know that this kid has legend in his DNA.
Yeah, and he's already stepping on podiums across disciplines. Was on the podium in downhill and dual slalom last year right here at National Champs. As you see him slicing, dicing those corners on his way to 1.3 up at split number 1.
Ryder charging hard, looking to make a statement here at Rock Creek. You know, Will, he's been a dominant force over in the Northwest Cups the past couple seasons. My first introduction to this kid was at Bootleg Canyon, where I was thoroughly impressed, and he must have been, 14, 15 when I first saw him. Really impressed with the professionalism that I'm seeing from his riding here today, Will.
I can see it in his lines as well. He was high up on that left-hander that took out Arbogast. It's a 131 there at split 2, so up by almost 2 seconds. Little bit of pace, a little bit of time to gain, though, if he wants to get up to that time of Lucas Dodor from yesterday, though, Grizz, who's back on that top seating time at split 2.
Yeah, Will, he's looking like he's just really composed, losing quite a bit of speed. He really got stood up in that berm right there. That right-hander almost took him out. Clean line over the road gap and arc that right-hander there. But yeah, Will, you're right. He's lost a little bit of time. He's left a little time on the table here today.
Well, didn't leave any steves on the table right there. Lawrence throwing it sideways over the final jump, and it will be good enough for the hot seat. So he's going to knock Abrams off with that 157.06 as we look to Loic Hudon. He's running for that Common Saw Gravity SL team.
Yeah, Lowe, he's got a really nice casual style on the bike. A little upright. I'm not exactly sure how tall he is, but I'm going to assume he's over 6 feet tall with just the way he rides the bike. And it's good to see Canadians coming down to the U.S. and banging bars with these American dudes.
When he's right there, bar to bar at split number 1. Less than a second back at that SR Suntour hole shot split. Diving straight into the outside right there.
Will, notice how casual he was in the steepest bit of the track. That shows a lot of maturity in a rider to be able to handle that steep technical terrain with that much composure.
Oh, and he's pulled time back too, Grizz. It's 131.78, so he's right there on pace with Ryder Lawrence as he just casually hopped off that fadeaway. And inside right there.
It's interesting to see what the clock says with these kids. You know, they're learning how to ride fast, but they're also battling bad habits of what riding, you know, riding for the gram and racing are two separate things. And being able to link every section.
Oh, man.
See what I'm talking about?
That was for the gram right there. It was for time, too, because he's just a tiny bit off the pace of Ryder Lawrence with that 157 as we move to our top 2 riders. And Gavin Tomlinson already charging into this first rock section. Gavin was second at the Tennessee National behind Dane Jewett.
Gavin as well, like Ryder, he's a next-generation SoCal Speed Team rider. And you can see in their with their technique, they've got this really aggressive yet buttery smooth attack approach to their riding, roosting that right-hander past the hole shot.
Oh, and he's up by a half second right there, 21.3. That was faster than our fastest first split from yesterday. So this could be shaping up to be a top time from Gavin Tomlinson. Yeah, makes pretty short work of that. And again, on the inside as he exits that steep section.
Gavin is riding like he wants it today, Will. He's carrying great exit speed. A lot of riders have stuffed that left-hand berm. And what? 2.63 up? This kid's on a heater.
He's throwing everything he's got at it, Grizz. He's gapping to the outside right here. And that's how you have to ride this track at Rock Creek. Crazy lines again from Tomlinson. Such creative riding.
I'm really impressed with this kid's riding. I'm really impressed with his lines. And you can see the only difference that separates these young riders from the pros is they're a little less explosive out of the corners. And that's only going to come with time, fitness, time in the gym. But keep the whips dirty,
let's see what
kids.
Tomlinson's got. Oh, he is on top with a 154.8. That is a great time. But you know what? It was not faster than the fastest seating time from Lucas Dodor yesterday as the Pro Builds Monster Army rider is on track.
Lucas Dodor wants to make a name for himself here this weekend, Will. You know, we typically see this kid as a contender on the Downhill Southeast Series, but can he hold it together and take his first national win here at Monster Pro Downhill?
Yeah, he's certainly got the composure, and he's right where he wants to be at split number 1, up by 0.17. The rider out of Huntington Station, New York. A little bit dreary up there where he's at, but he's been trying to put in the work to get ready for this early season race. Paying off through that steep section. Super clean, and he's on the gas.
Yeah, I did a little Scando flick right there in that steepest bit, and you can note the difference. You know, Loic, he just rode that steep bit. Nice, cool, composed, pulled a bunch of time. Lucas doing it a bit differently, but still making up even more time at split 2, Will.
Yeah, he's up by over a second, and he's railing these outside lines. Oh, roosted right there, and you had Dodora. A tall kid. He's got a lot of range on that frame to go with the suspension on his transition. Downhill rig slams that corner, and he's going to scrub there, Grizz.
Will, I don't know if you've noticed, but he has almost thrown it away in 2 right-handers back-to-back, but he's holding it together. Will it be enough to get his win?
Dodora is going to cross, and he's going to take the win by 0.79, less than a second for Lucas Dodora, throwing it down. All these juniors throwing it down today, Grizz. What a run from him as he waits for the call.
Thoroughly impressed, Will. Excellent riding from these kids.
And here's your podium here. Lucas Dodora standing on top today by almost 1 second over Gavin Tomlinson in second, Ryder Lawrence third, Loic Udon in fourth, and Max Abrams rounding out your top 5.